Alright. Ultra tryhard mode engaged. Just kidding.
Alright, I got you. I got you. I got you.
We'll see.
I'll show you the mix up.
It's been 3 hours since I've stood up, so we'll see what happens. It's pretty good.
Wow.
I could have killed you, actually. You're not dead. Oh, almost died at 13. There you go.
Dude, you keep footstalling me.
I had to.
So consistent with that. Oh god. Alright, I'll mix that up. It's because you just played against that lightning guy. I do a lot of the same mix-ups he does, so I know you're like ready for them, but I still don't want to like do them because I know that you're probably like expecting them.
Oh no.
Dude, I think
This is the worst day of his life. Oh no, it's the worst day of my life.
that.
It could have been a lot worse.
Just jumping off the platform.
What the hell? Okay. How did that even reach me? How did that even reach me? Spacing. Oh, how to parry that. Oh, I'm dead. Oh, I'm supposed to be dead.
Oh, I'm dead. I'm
Taper
dead.
forward tilt. It's tough. Like as far as how do you do what I was doing? I guess I just don't talk and play. I guess. Oh man. Yeah. It's a lot of practice, and also like the biggest thing, I made a video about this a long time ago, as far as the number one way to get somebody to respect your character is to make sure that you're timing your attacks ridiculously well. So it's like if they actually go in and they're even the slightest bit off, they're gonna die. Right? Like when we were in the corner, when I was ledge trapping you, I was spinning in front of you for I don't even know how long, and I barely shielded, but you didn't do anything. Right? Because of what had happened in the past, as far as before, regardless of the shield breaks or not, but a lot of the times when you were swinging, you either were getting reversed or you were missing, and then you're getting reversed from that. Right?
Yeah.
It's a lot of mental focus, I guess you could say, too, just to try and really make sure that you're making every input count. I think I was talking about this with the last guy, talking about with your neutral. You want to make sure that every option that you're going for is deliberate versus just saying, oh, I'm going to cover this spot because I feel like it, or, you know, I'm going to waveland because why would I not, or I'm just going to do a double jump here, or just roll because I feel like doing this. It's like, no, you want to try and make sure every input that you're going for is an input that makes total sense of the situation. Whether or not you're successful with it is another story, because you could completely miss or you could be wrong. But you want to not be throwing out moves just for the sake of throwing them out, because everything that you do that is not walking or shore hopping makes your character slower, right? If you're dashing, as far as slower before you can actually do what you want to do. If you're dashing, you can't shield instantly. If you're rolling, or let's say if you're shielding, whatever, it makes you slower on the ground, right? If you're in the middle of an attack, you have end lag. So if you can try to minimize as much as you possibly can, your character is now as fast as possible.
Yeah, I totally get that about making every input count and every interaction meaningful.
Yeah,
that's another thing I have to try to work on.
It's a lot of practice too, because it's hard to even discern what is a meaningful input, because sometimes you are doing things that you think are the right thing to do, right? And then that's also where VOD reviews come into play as well, and also just watching other players play and see what they're doing. Like, how often do they just shore hop back air, or how often do they go for down tilt, or how often do they go for dash grabs or smash attacks? Like, if they barely do it, there's a reason, and there's a reason why they're the best players, like Spargo, for example, right?
Yeah.
Like, and I'm not saying that you're mashing, but across the entire board, anybody who mashes does not get very far in this game, right?
I definitely see that.
Yeah.
I've played really good people, and the same tactics that work on, like, my friends or my neighbor will not be effective against them.
Mm-hmm. That's why it also gets tough too when you have training partners who are either not as good as you or not as serious as you. Sometimes you can get screwed, because it's like, oh, I spent all this time and I can destroy this person, but they weren't good anyways. Or I can destroy this person, but they were never trying, right? And then you fight in a tournament, it's like, oh, I can just go ahead and do this stuff, and other people are trying way harder. And it's like, okay, well, shit, now this is not normal. That's tough when that happens.
To counter that,
what do I recommend to counter
get more?
Honestly, man, as much as I'd say it, get more coaching from other coaches.
For sure.
Get coaching from other coaches. If you can get a coaching session with Izov, or with I don't know if Tweak coaches, but someone like that, or like an MK Leo or a Fatality or ESAM or whoever it is, and say to them, like, you want to get coaching, like, you want to get some advice from them, but once you feel like, let's say you have as much advice as you really need or you want, say, I'm going to play with ESAM for an hour and not ask questions. I just want to fight him as many times as I can and try my absolute hardest, right? Or whoever it might be, because a coaching session can also just be a grind session where you're trying your hardest to get, like, grind XP, right?
That's why I got a... Go ahead.
I was going to say not just for the sake of having the conversation, because I'll admit, in my sessions, I do stop a lot of players and we do talk a lot. But also that's why a lot of players are here, because they want to learn things and they want to be able to put the proper thing into practice versus just practicing bad habits, right? But when you get to a point where you feel like, okay, I get what my bad habits are, I get what my mix-ups are, I feel very confident as a player, now it's time to just, like, go full throttle here and fight someone who's actually way better than me, who's also going to try. Like, when you get to that point, I start branching out. I'll admit that you're probably never going to feel like you're at that point, but eventually you got to take that leap of faith and say, yeah, I'm going to fight Yez, and I'm going to fight him for an hour, and I'm going to try super hard. And I'm going to fight DK Will, and I'm going to fight Mr. E, or I'm going to fight like ESAM or whoever, right? Mars, just somebody. And you're going to try your absolute hardest. And you might be like, ask for advice for like the last 10 minutes, but the majority of the time you're sweating your ass off and you're trying super hard.
I got 2 sessions with you because I wanted the first session for us to kind of like talk and like goof off and like just like see if you could or tell me what more I needed to work on.
Mm-hmm.
And then the second one we could just like go at it for like an hour straight and just like see if there's been any improvement or disimprovement.